Music, turntables, mixtapes, decades and decades of just great music. That's who I am.
What up, everybody? It's your guy AD with another episode of The Session. Today we're going to be talking to my guy DJ CO1 about a whole lot of ish. Tune in. CO, what's going on, player?
What up, AD? What's good, man?
Chilling, man. I've been working with you for about a year and some change now. You're amazing at your craft.
Thank you.
And you're great at what you do. You have a broad, extensive knowledge of music. I want to take it to like the what you deem sucka DJs these days.
Ooh.
And as far as you started on turntables.
Yes.
Now you have DJs that come in and they start on whether it be controllers, mixers, or you just using software. What is the difference between those two types?
That's a great question. To me, as a lot of people, the phrase "sucka DJ" has come about because of a lot of people who just try to jump into the DJ game without paying dues.
Okay.
That's where that kind of comes from. Not because necessarily from someone who comes in and just starts with CDJs or a controller. I'm okay with someone being on turntables, CDJs, or a controller because I use a controller, I use CDJs, and I use turntables. But the issue is where you try to come in and don't want to gain the knowledge of everything that it entails.
Okay.
Including the knowledge of a music database, which is where I think people, with my experience, my years, my age, bring that to the table because, trust me, there's not one event where I walk in scared.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the crowd is. It doesn't matter what the venue is. It doesn't matter what the day of the week it is. It doesn't matter where the hell I flew into to go do this.
Right.
I have the knowledge, I have the library, I have an extensive library. Not that I own it, but that I also know it.
Right.
So doing an event is easy for me, per se. The skill set, I think, is stronger for someone who comes from wanting to learn also on turntables because it's more hands-on. You're actually on the record itself. You really get a grasp for what it takes to actually spin the thing, right?
Okay.
Versus a CDJ where you hit buttons or a controller. Again, I don't talk smack about people who use a different. It's just a different element, you know. It's like me saying, well, I drive a BMW and you drive a Volkswagen. It doesn't matter. We're both going to get to the same spot at the same time, just in a different vehicle, right?
Right.
But it's so a sucka DJ to me is someone who doesn't want to take the time to gain more knowledge, talk to people who are older, people who are more knowledgeable, get acclimated in everything that takes place in becoming a well-rounded DJ in all of the music. Yes, I get it. There's a couple of really great DJs that are versed in just one genre, house music.
That was actually what I was going to ask, because Vegas is I feel like it's very dance-based out here, EDM-based.
Well, you'd be surprised. I think it seems that way on the outside, but on the inside, a lot of us DJs who are in the other clubs or in the radio, we like the old school, we like the hip hop, we like everything else. You still want to go back to the 80s, you want to do the 90s. So it doesn't matter, again, it's the knowledge and being versed in a lot of different genres. I don't take away from someone who just is good in dance, but don't go talking your shit to other DJs who are more well-rounded. And I get it, your contract is bigger than mine, but at the end of the day, man, I'm probably happier than those people at the end of the day.
And you're nice at what you do.
And I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing the airwaves. You know this. I invite my friends to be on the airwaves.
Very true.
Every event that I do, I always try to bring people just so we can have fun because I know it's going to be an eventful situation. And the last thing about a sucka DJ is you don't want to gain the knowledge, and you also want to go and take my gigs, and you want to undercut me
For a cheaper price.
Man,
right?
I'm about to call my people.
See, well, not
that's where it comes. That's where it comes in.
All right. So as far as different gigs, I mean, you do proms, you do dances, you do clubs, venues, radio. I mean, I'm trying to think of other.
And I'm going to rephrase that. I still do proms. I still do barbecues because I choose to.
Because you don't have to, right. But you choose to.
Yeah.
Is there a certain type of event that you enjoy more than the others, though? There's got to be certain ones that you like. Do you have a preference towards? I feel like
I do like the smaller lounges. Okay. Not a mass. I would pick a lounge or a massive club any day.
Okay.
I don't need more recognition. I don't need recognition in front of 3,000 people at a club. I'd rather have a more private 1,000, less 500 people environment and have more fun and enjoy it and be more intimate and be able to reach out and touch than, again, that we know that I'm on the radio 7 days a week. Right. I don't care about my name. I don't care about. I care about having fun and bringing a good experience.
There you go. Now I gotta ask, as far as you mentioned just having a wide knowledge base of music, and obviously we know that you are more so a West Coast hip hop, but you know all type of music. You know Meghan Trainor, even though you grew up on maybe like more Stay Times. Does it ever get stressful, like having to stay up on music that you wouldn't like per se listen to like on your own time? Like,
no, for me it's fun. For me, as I wear my DJ Quick hat today.
There you go.
It is West Coast, but again, that's what kind of separates you from everybody else. Even on my own personal time, I'm going to listen to Meghan Trainor. I'm going to go out and get the latest Jeremiah tracks. I'm still going to find out what's new in dance music. I'm still going to revisit the Dillas of the world, the East Coast, the Redman, even just recently, obviously the whole situation with Prince, and I'm such a big Morris Day fan. He's my like best musical idol, and they're from Minneapolis,
right?
So if you consider yourself a West Coast DJ, hey man, great for you. But I may consider myself a West Coast DJ because I've always lived in the West Coast.
Right.
But when it comes to knowledge and just having an overall view of music, I am absolutely spread across not just the country, but even
you're very versed.
Even across the world, just because a lot of dance music comes from the UK or across the seas, and again, just in general, having the library doesn't mean shit.
Okay.
It's knowing your library that means everything.
Okay. I like that.
That's
I like
the difference.
Knowing it, that means everything. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a gem right there. He's dropping gems. I gotta ask you one thing that aggravates you about the DJ scene these days, and one thing that you love about the DJ scene these days.
I think the one thing that does aggravate me a lot is that whoever and whenever this took place, where the pay scale launched, where someone at some point thought that a DJ is worth $200,000 a night or a festival, and I might be exaggerating, but that kind of killed it for someone like myself. And then again, it made me work harder too. It made me want to get into production and do more mixtapes and do more work, because I do want to be at that pay rate. But again, I think it's very skewed, because someone's making $30,000 for the same thing that I could be doing for $1,000.
Right.
And everybody knows that I'm better than a lot of people.
That's real. That's real. You got to be a humble king.
One of the things that I do absolutely love about this business now, this day and age, and maybe it's because of my age, because I've been around the block for a long time, is all of the networking. For me, a lot of people know me as the old dog. I've been around the block for a long time, but there's not one place where I can't walk into and be able to shake hands and share a beer, share a drink with a colleague, a friend, or someone, and everybody's like, yo, we heard you on this, you did that, I love this, I love that. And to me, it's, again, just like I mentioned earlier, it's not about me growing my name and just hearing it over and over because I'm over all that, but it's, if people tell me that I'm doing good in some parts of what I do, then it's just going to make me want to build and grow even more, because there's always room for improvement.
Right. And I was going to mention, you're also, like you just mentioned, as far as like being like the big homie in a lot of aspects. You're very good at marketing yourself. You stay very relevant as far as the internet's concerned. You know how to change with the times. I feel like I see that.
Yeah, technology. That's why I don't clown on someone who's just DJing on a controller.
Okay.
Technology is advancing. If you want to, I'm not going to be the guy that's going to say, no, I'm going to DJ on vinyl for the rest of my life. Guess what? Your career is going to end really, really quick.
Right.
Because music is not staying on vinyl.
Okay.
As much as people, yes, it's on Serato vinyl, but it's digital. Everybody knows it's digital. So if you want to keep advancing, you yourself need to advance along with the technology and along with all of the resources and the elements that are accompanied into music.
Okay, and speaking on the learning curve as far as that goes, what's the transition from vinyl to Serato for someone that doesn't, an outsider looking in on the DJ life?
For me, the transition was it wasn't hard physically to go from vinyl to Serato vinyl, because obviously it's the same look and feel. It was more mental. Okay. I didn't want to be the guy who gave up on vinyl, on real vinyl.
Got it.
So I think the mentality of being an old school guy kind of is what held me back for it a little bit. Although I am one of the first guys to ever use Serato. But just being able to convert a lot of that music myself onto a digital quality MP3, something high quality that I can use now. I mean, it makes me happy that I was able to convert with it, but again, it was a big step for me to say, hey, I'm gonna have to continuously be growing and growing and growing. So.
Do you still have a record collection? I gotta ask.
I might cry a little bit, but when I first moved to Vegas, I brought my entire collection. It was like a wall and a half of my garage of vinyl. When I moved from my first house, someone was spying on me, and in the middle of one of my nights, me moving, they came in, they broke my garage door, they went through the windows, and they stole all of my vinyl.
Jeez.
So I own right now about maybe 100 glass pieces.
That's hurtful just hearing
it, and it's it hurts. It hurts.
Now I gotta ask this. I don't know if I've ever known this. What got you into DJing? Like what made you grab turntables or like I want to do that like for the rest of my life? What made you do that?
Well, one of my good friends was DJing back in Orange County. We were doing like all ages house parties. It was all original classic house, hard house, and I was like, yo, I can do that, or I want to do that. That's interesting to me. And that friend had an extra pair of turntables that I borrowed for a while. With that being said, one of my best friends, Martin from high school, was like, yo, this stuff is kind of cool. We should make mixtapes. And that's actually physically recorded onto a cassette tape because back then we still didn't know what a CD was, right? So then I just kind of got into it. I bought one record, bought 10 records. Then my younger brother one day, we went to a house party. And suddenly I get the, yo, let's go.
Right.
I'm like, what's up? He goes, I just took these records, let's bounce. So I inherited a crate of old school funk records, which happens to be my favorite genre.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then
that's a crazy story.
From there, I just kept everything that I worked, or just all the money that I made from working, pretty much, I want to say about 75% of it went to vinyl.
That's wow. That's a crazy story how you got the records.
And I still own my original pair of turntables to this day.
Whew, will you ever give them up?
Hell no.
To the little CO.
If my son wants to pursue DJing, which by the time that he gets into it, I don't even know if turntables will be around.
Gotcha.
I mean, they might be. It'll be vintage, but if he wants them, absolutely. Everything that I do now is not for me. Everything I do now is all for my son.
Just like that.
The memories, the networking, the acquaintances, the cool pictures with artists, celebrities. It's not for me. So he has posters of shit when he goes, look, that was my dad.
Pops and LL Cool J.
Yes, sir.
Just like that. So. What's one thing you would leave like new DJs, like younger DJs coming in the game now? What's one thing you would tell them for the future?
Be nice, be humble, network, don't be a dick.
Straight
because
up.
it comes around, and there's people like me who are older that don't mind coming up to somebody and saying, yo, we need to chin check you. Right. And that's the truth.
Anybody can get chin checked.
And that is the truth. And again, it's like anything else. It's almost like a fraternity or a gang. You got the older members.
Okay, I respect it.
So there's nothing wrong with being open to everybody. Even if you can't do something, it's like when you take a request. Hey, can you play this song? Don't be like, hell no. I'm not gonna just be like, let me see if I can get to it.
Right.
They might come back and tip you. They might come back and drop you, I don't know, 100 bill. I don't know, something, right?
They might be.
So you don't know what'll come out. So you'd rather be in the good scenario, in the good scenario than the bad scenario.
I like that. Well, I appreciate your time, CO.
Yeah, man.
DJ CO1, Vegas, and say it one more time, Santana's own.
Yes, Santana's very own.
Just like that, CO1. My name's AD, and you just watched an episode of The Session. Peace.